this season?
Look, on the court, Kyrie is going to be Kyrie, which is the best ball handler in NBA history, one of the most clutch players in the league, one of the most exciting players in the league, and one of the best finishers at the rim in the league. So his game, he'll probably even be better. But the question, of course, is leadership. That was the problem last year, and I do think he's going to be a better leader. I'm not saying he'll be one of the NBA's best or even great, right? But I think he'll be better. He's 27 now, and he's had just about every experience in the NBA you can have. He's been to the mountaintop as a team, as an individual hitting that shot. He's been in the valley last year. He's had his bouts with the media. He said the wrong thing. So I do think he will learn from all those experiences. But most importantly, I think just being at home. He is like, you saw him, I don't know if you saw his pregame speech, but he almost teared up, like he choked up just being at home. And when he went to Boston, I thought he was blessed to go to a great situation.
Right.
But I don't know that he was ever happy there because they weren't on his list.
Right.
To the 4 teams. It was San Antonio, Miami, Minnesota, and New York. Now, you can say Brooklyn wasn't on the list, but New York was, and that's the same general geographical area. And at that time in 2017, the Nets were a mess.
Right.
They got their act together, and they become the team he wants to go to. He grew up a Nets fan. And I want to say this, too. In Boston, yes, Kyrie had troubles leading, but it wasn't just Kyrie. It was part of the fact that they were a team that had really good success without him before he got there, and then when he got hurt, they go to the conference finals, and they think we really don't need you.
Right.
And
but
so
they
when
really ain't trying to hear what you're talking.
Right. And then even taking all those shots, like everything, they're not trying to hear it. The Nets know they need Kyrie. As good as they were last year, and it was pretty good, they know this is the guy that can take us to another level. And so I think all of that will conspire to have him be, at least not have the problems he had in Boston last year.
And that was my thing. He's going to be Kyrie on the court. Skip and I was discussing it earlier. I mean, there ain't very many point guards offensively that can do what he does. James Harden obviously can score the basketball, but it be as dazzling and as spectacular because even in the falling down, how he was able to go between his legs, get the ball to his right hand and get a shot off. Because normally you fall down, the ball goes and you lose like, he didn't even get a shot off. But he ended up getting a shot off.
If only it had gone down.
No, I wouldn't have come in.
Twitter would have gone down.
No, because you'd have come in here, that's what LeBron meant. If LeBron had that the other night, he'd have won the game. Yeah, I know you. But that's my question. Will he, because short term, I believe it's going to be great. Long term, because when he first got to Boston, he said all the right things. He did all the right things. And somewhere along the line, it happened. Now, maybe it happened because, like you said, he got injured and they had such great success once he got injured. And that was going to be always my concern, Skip. When he came back, somebody got to pull back. Jason Tatum ain't going to get those same amount of shots. Jaylen Brown wasn't going to get those same amount of shots. So now what's going on? They're like, wait a minute. Dude, I'm trying to make... Because I don't care what anybody tells you. I want team success, but these guys trying to make a name for themselves. These guys trying to get the NBA, trying to get the All-Star game, because they're trying to get that max contract, Skip. Because you get an All-Star, you get the All-NBA, you get that super duper max, and that's what guys trying to get. And I can't get no super max contract if I'm taking 10 shots a game when I was getting 15, 16 last year minus Kyrie. And Kyrie's trying to talk. They ain't trying to hear what Kyrie's trying to say. And Kyrie's like, well, man, I went through this. Now I see what LeBron said. Whether he meant it or not, but it's hard when you try to lead. You think you're trying to do the right thing. But a lot of it has to do with how you say it, your message, the presentation of your message, Skip. Everybody's not going to receive it the same way. You know, we said this thing about Chris Haynes says medicine. Some people like medicine. Some people like getting a shot. Now, you get a flu shot. Hell, no, I ain't getting no flu shot. I don't like needles like that. But some people, you see them lined up at CVS getting the flu shot. What Kyrie thought, Kyrie, as a leader, you got to understand when you deliver a message, who you're delivering it to, and how you need to deliver it so they'll receive it. Some people ain't going to you can't talk to everybody the same way just because you're the best player. People like, man, you better get out of my face. I ain't trying to hear what you're trying to say. You saw what we did without you last year? And you come up here and think you're going to run the show now. Nah, I hope, because he had a great situation in Cleveland. He no longer wanted to be a part of it. We thought he went to one of the most storied franchises in NBA history with the Boston Celtics. Thought that was a great situation. And for a while, then he didn't want to be a part of it. He's running out of places to go now, Skip.
Yep.
He says he's home.
has to be it.
He says he's home. He says he's happy.
Yep.
Hopefully he's found eternal happiness.
Help me out on the home. Chris Broussard knows New Jersey and Brooklyn, and I'm having a hard time thinking he's home in Brooklyn when he grew up in West Orange, New Jersey, which is 22 miles
right
away.
where I live.
I know, but it might as well be like a million miles away from Brooklyn, because it's just not Brooklyn.
No, you're right. And now, he grew up a Nets fan, and
Yeah,
that's when
I
they
know.
were in New Jersey. They were in New Jersey when
East
he was
Rutherford,
there.
yeah.
Right. But you're right, Brooklyn, I assume he bought a house out in Jersey, I believe.
Right.
Okay.
It's not close to Brooklyn. You're right. You're right.
And figuratively, it's not
world.
close.
Right.
Okay, so I'm having a hard time when you say, I'm home. Really? You're in Brooklyn. And I get it was your childhood team, but they moved over to Brooklyn. So anyway, I remain, as you guys know, huge Kyrie fan. I was dazzled by everything last night until he missed the last shot. I wish he would have made it, because he's highly capable of making that shot because of the clutchness you referred to. I'm going to give him a slight pass because he made a big deal last night about the passing of his grandfather, which was 1 year ago yesterday. And he said that it made basketball, in his life view, seem irrelevant in Boston last year, because it would have been October 23rd of a year ago. So he would have just been starting his first full season in Boston, obviously, and they're coming off Game 7 of the conference finals. And he said it soured him on life, and they were very close, and he just had a hard time digging out from under that through the year. Well, I don't walk in his shoes, but he's a deep young man. You know, he almost thinks it to a fault, you know, like he, and I think
Overthinks it.
Yeah, he overthinks it to the point that I think it really rocked him that he lost his grandfather, who was his biggest fan. He was very close with him, and he had a hard time last night. And he said after the game, I had to make a choice to be happy out there tonight instead of sad on the anniversary of his passing. Well, he went out and did it for his grandfather.
Right.
Well, can he keep doing it for his grandfather? But I will give him this. I think he used the word free last night. I think he will play much more freely through this year, because last year the pressure on him was extraordinary because they had gotten to Game 7 against LeBron and company in the conference finals. And I think he crumbled under the pressure to be the leader, it's what he'd chosen. I'm leaving LeBron. I can't take LeBron anymore. All the drama. I want Boston. It's a storied franchise. It's a fine young team. They got all kinds of potential, but they need me to take them over the top. And they did win Game 1 against Milwaukee, and then they lost 4 straight, and he was pathetic in that series as a player. The leadership, he obliterated whatever leadership potential he seemed to have. I'm out on that. But he had pressure last year, and I think he's going to get a honeymoon year with little to no pressure in Brooklyn, because
only pressure is just make the playoffs.
Make the playoffs.
Skip, he found out that being a leader is one thing. Being a leader on a championship contending team is something entirely different.
Totally agree. So he's going to get a honeymoon because Kevin Durant is out. But when Kevin comes back, then I guess more pressure will be on Kevin. I don't know, because he's going to be looked at as the 1 to Kyrie's 1A.
But it's going to be interesting, that dynamic between them. If Kyrie has this great year, which he probably will, they're the 4th seed, win around.
Okay.
KD comes back.
Here we go.
Team
Things
is
shift.
Right?
All right, well, tomorrow night, they will host the Knicks, which I think is kind of an interesting one, where everyone thought he would have ended up, but we'll have plenty more Kyrie all season to watch. Chris, we're going to swap you out next with Rob Parker, because here's the thing. Tom Brady is talking about his future. And